Dude, I'm so excited about this. This is like Magic Dad mashup session. We are here with one of my all-time favorite magicians. Brent Braun is bringing your daughter to Magic Day, apparently. We've got Josie here and?
Molly.
Molly. Okay, between you and me, Josie's never impressed with any of my magic. Are you impressed with anything your dad ever does ever?
Not normally.
That's okay. All right, good. Hopefully we'll fix that.
Right.
All right, what do you got for us?
Let's try a little bit of a card trick. Do me a favor, Josie. I'm gonna have you cut off about 10 to 20 cards. We need roughly, actually a little bit more than that. We need about somewhere between 10 and 20. That's gonna be perfect. We'll get rid of the rest of these. We need a magic number.
Molly, did that sting? You said just we're gonna get rid of the rest of these and then just...
Don't forget to do the magic move when I wink.
I'll try not to.
She's not ready. So you've cut off a small packet of cards. I'm going to count those cards and it's going to give us a magic number. Okay. And you'll understand why that magic number's magic in just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards. So that's our magic number we're gonna need. And we're gonna use one of these cards, and to get that card, we're going to use the magic number to create another number. So the number 15 is made up of two numbers. That's the number 1 and 5. Okay. So if we add 1 and 5 together, we get 6. We're gonna count back exactly 6 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 cards brings us to the 2 of hearts. But if you would have thought of the number 17, we've ended up with the 10 of diamonds, or the 19, we could have ended up with a different card. Does that make sense? So that's going to be the selected card. But do you remember our important number? What was that number? The number you started with?
15.
15, that's important, and I'll explain to you why. Watch. We're gonna take the 2 and put it in here. We'll cut it into the center. Do you know how to shuffle? You know how to shuffle cards?
Yes.
Okay, can you give those a shuffle for me?
Yeah, I'm
super
good at shuffling.
Molly, will you shuffle these for her?
Thank you. I cannot shuffle.
Molly can't shuffle that well either. It doesn't matter. No pressure, no pressure. We just want to give them a mix there. And you remember the important, that was the magic move, by the way. Did you see it? Did you see it? Yeah, it was. It was the magic move. She already did it. You guys missed it. 15, was that the magic number?
Yes.
Pick up these cards now. I want you to count them face down to the table out loud so everyone can hear.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Well, that didn't go so well.
Oh.
Did I count?
Did you do the magic move, Molly?
Maybe.
What is happening? She was supposed to do the magic move. Here, we'll try it again. Do the magic move. She's got it this time.
What is going on?
I don't understand.
Oh, that's perfect. She nailed it that time. This should work. Count them face down to the table. There were 15. Yes, this should work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
No.
But you had a card. Your card was the 2 of hearts. Do you remember that?
Yes.
But if you'd have named a different number, we'd have ended up with a different card. But you'll notice that's not a 2 of hearts. 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 That's not a 2 of hearts.
What?
None of these cards are 2 of hearts.
What is going on?
I don't.
It was the magic move. It was the magic move. Remember how I set these cards over here to set her up for the magic move?
I've never been told about any magic moves.
That's the line. You nailed it. Of course, she nailed it. She'll never admit it. That's how you know she's a good magician. Won't even admit that we talked about the magic move, but she's already done it. She's already done it. Look.
No.
Is that the 2 of hearts?
Of course it
Oh
is.
That is the 2 of
That's
hearts.
so good.
That's amazing.
All right, we all have to clap for Molly.
Yes.
Not for Brent, though.
I did it all.
Yeah.
It was all because of me.
My favorite part of all of this was the repeated assertion that Molly was doing something, because you're the kind of person who I totally believe would work something out with Molly in advance, and so I'm actually laserizing over here, making sure that she's not doing anything. So this is the classic plot, card to impossible location?
Yeah, it's a version of card to impossible location that is almost self-working, right? It's got a little bit of a math principle going on in the beginning, and then it all sort of works by itself.
Walk us through it.
Yeah, so if we talk about what's happening here, the first thing we're doing is we're cheating. We're using 2 of hearts in that situation. So we have a duplicate card. One of those starts inside of the box. The other thing I should mention is that Molly doesn't have to be Molly. She can be anyone at the bar, anyone we're with, and I just instantly put them on the spot with this stuff near them and say, do the magic move. Because now that creates drama and tension, and they don't really know what they're supposed to do.
It is so much better that it's your daughter, and your daughter is just like, what are you doing, Dad? We didn't talk about any of this.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is you don't want to set them up in advance that anything's going to happen. You just want to sort of put them on the spot, and now she's hopefully thinking like, what the hell did we talk about? What am I supposed to be doing, right? If she's confused as to where we're going, that's even more interesting.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely. Okay, this is a force card then, right?
Correct. And this is the 10 to 20 force. The only thing that I do a little bit different with the 10 to 20 force is I try to make it not seem like I had them choose a number. So instead I have Josie cut off a small number of cards between 10 and 20. So that's how we arrive at our random number. But it's not a selection process. And I'm just trying to push away from making it feel like a math trick.
Got it.
Right? You're gonna pick up some cards. The number of cards is gonna be important. That also justifies why we're going to count the cards and then why one's going to vanish later. If we didn't know there were 15, then that first phase where there are now only 14 isn't as impressive.
And I'm gonna guess it's not rocket science to be able to tell, like at a glance, whether or not somebody's way overdone it or not.
Absolutely. And in that situation, if she picks up too many, I just tell her do it again. That's too many. We don't want to count that high. A few more. And eventually you'll be able to know what the difference between 10 and 20 is. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I've also relied on the trick of, let's say somebody grabs too many, I'll often say like, perfect, you get the idea. Here, now we're gonna do it for real.
Oh, that's great.
And then that way you're not even saying they did anything wrong.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about the force first, and then we'll talk about how we're going to get back to this. So there's a 2 of hearts inside of the box. The other 2 of hearts goes 10 cards from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 2 of hearts goes here, and then all the other cards go there. So in his 10th from the top, when we deal these out to count them, so she cuts off a number of cards. When we deal these out to count them, again, I set these in front of whoever's going to be my helper because I want there to feel like there could have been something that might have happened over here.
And by the way, that inability to pay attention to both things at the same time built up this plausibility that something more dastardly was happening the entire time.
It's funny, I've had people believe that during the trick, I've added the 2 hearts onto here, and then somehow when they weren't looking, she put it in there.
Yep.
And if that happens and she gets all the credit, I don't care because we're still wizards, right? And now she's like, I never did that. And I go, of course she won't tell you she did. And then we get this sort of like espionage spy moment, right? Where they won't let you off the hook. So now we have these cards. We're gonna count these cards, but we're gonna count them face up onto the table in a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cards.
In theory, would this work if you go past 20?
What happens right now at 18 is we're then saying, okay, that's the magic number 18, remember that, but we're gonna use that to generate another number. That's a 1 and an 8. We'll add those together and we'll count back 9 cards. Well, when we count back 9 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it always ends up at the 2 of hearts. It is a force. And the reason that works is because if we had 17 cards, we'd only count back 8 cards.
Right. And if you had exactly 11 cards, then you would take 1 and 1 and go 1, 2. Right. Or if you had 12. Yeah, okay.
But there's a nice moment there, too, that this adds because of the spread. When I take the 2 of hearts out, I go, but remember, if you would have named a smaller number, like 13, you would have gotten the ace, or 15, you would have gotten this, or you could have gotten any of those other cards. That's a little bit of deceptive anchoring there.
Yes, I like to call them lies.
Yes, that is 100% a lie, because we would have had less cards, we would have counted back less far. But what I want them to remember is that it could have been any of these cards. So then this exact same thing happens, but if we start with the 9 of spades on top of the deck, the 9 of spades has double stick tape on the back.
This is different than when we played with this before because we put the double stick on the face of the card. We got a face card that had a busy pattern, but the back is already inherently busy on there, so it does totally vanish. And it's probably easier to just keep that on top and you never have to mess with anything.
It never sticks with anything, it never does, it's just there the whole time. So when I take these cards out of the card box, I'm ready to go, the tape's there, and I don't have to adjust anything. And remember, I already have a setup anyway, because it has to be the 10th card, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 2 has to be the 10th card. So those cards have to stay on top.
And you could, now that I'm thinking about it, do the trick where it's like, hey, everybody shuffle up a little bit of these cards. Everybody shuffle. And then we're all touching cards. You're like, great, great, great. And then nothing's really changed.
Nothing's really changed, yes, absolutely. As long as you're maintaining that you only need to have at least the top 11 cards, right? Or the top 10 cards, and then they can do anything they want, you'll be ready to go. That's a great point. So now, when these get cut off, and I'm not worried about letting her cut that off and touch that tape. People just aren't going to do it. It's sort of in the middle of the deck. They just cut the cards.
Sounds like it's not an issue.
Yeah, you do it once and you realize that you're staring at a giant piece of tape and going, but they don't know. So now when I deal this, And remember, it doesn't matter what number of cards we get here, as long as it's more than 10. We're going to count back to the 2. Then I'm going to say, we did name 17, we did it up here.
Right.
As we're doing that, I'm squaring this packet up.
This is so perfect.
And now the 9 is sticky on the table.
Yep.
So as soon as I put the 2 in and cut.
Oh, you don't even put it right on.
No.
That's wonderful.
I put it here and I say, look, we'll cut the 2 into the center.
Yep.
And now as soon as I squeeze this,
Yep.
it's going to adhere. Now, I sort of didn't squeeze it enough or missed the spot. So when Josie did it the first time, there were still the right number of cards.
To be honest, I know it wasn't the way you intended it, but it actually worked out even better having it misland the first time, because I was just like, wait, does she have a job?
That was just sort of, I didn't squeeze it tight enough, but normally when you do that overhand shuffle, you're just gonna squeeze here and say, do you know how to shuffle? And as I'm saying that, I'm giving that 9 a nice firm squeeze here as I start to shuffle.
Right.
Then I hand these to Josie. She starts to shuffle, and no matter what job she does, you know what, actually, let Molly do that.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm very quickly gonna give these to Molly.
Right.
Or whoever's sitting on this side, because I want them to be doing this job that puts everything in the right
close
aspect.
enough over
Close
there.
enough to the box.
I think magicians call it the two perfect principle. Like if everything happens here and the card's over there, it's like, okay, well that can't be the same
Yeah,
card.
if I hand you this box at the beginning and say, Brian, put your hand on top of it,
Yeah.
and then the 2 of hearts appears in there, some people will say, had to be a different 2 of hearts.
Right. Had to be in
Maybe
there
there's
the
still
entire
one
time.
there, had to be
Yeah.
there, they're getting too close. I want them to sort of remember in their brain that something over here could have happened, and maybe sneaky magic people made that happen and they missed it. Right? So that's what
Sneaky
I'm-
magic people.
So now when we bring these back, you can count them. Again, they're going to count a double thick card at some point, and you don't know where they're gonna have it, but you didn't feel it, is that true?
I didn't even notice there was a thick card.
Okay, and they're not going to. It's one of those things like the tape in the beginning, you're like, I'm nervous. But as soon as you do it the first time, you realize it just doesn't matter. So now when we count these, obviously there's just one less card because I'm gonna feel that double card. Also, if you're worried about this because you're gonna do more tricks, if you do the counting, you can feel the double card and you can throw it off to the side. Because now when I put it here at the end, now I'm able to get that sticky card out of play if I want to. If I'm gonna do more card tricks
Got
later.
it.
I've controlled that sticky card at that point.
So now only one question remains. Are you guys able to do the trick for us?
It's a little complicated.
All right, Josie, you got a trick for us?
Yes. One of you take out 10 to 20 cards.
There you go. I'm gonna pick a number. Does that seem like the right amount?
Yes.
What should we do with these?
Let's put them over here. Let's see how many you cut. Okay.
Good. Nailing it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm nailing the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
All right.
It's 2 numbers, so 6 plus 1 equals 7. So
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
This is your magic number.
Okay, so.
Well, this was already your magic number, but this is your second magic number.
Got it.
Scoop it all up, and so we'll cut the deck.
Yep.
Put this in the middle.
Yep. Smooth like butter.
So smooth. You try shuffling the cards. Psych! Molly, can you please shuffle? Thank you so much. You did the magic, right?
Okay.
Let me try. Can you please count this out?
Okay, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. My number was 16.
Oh my gosh.
That's not the end of the trick, sweetie.
Oh, it isn't. Oh! What was your card?
The 2 of hearts.
Now let's look around. This isn't the 2. I'm looking around. What?
No, the 2's gone.
The 2's missing. It's all missing. It's not.
I did it.
Oh, there it is. Well done.
I pulled it off pretty well.
That's fantastic. All right, Brent, where can we see more of your wonderful work?
Oh, you can see it all at brickandmortarmagic.com. If you just go to our website and search my name, you can buy some magic tricks from me. Buy my new book. Not new, it's a year old, but it's still fairly relatively
it's pretty
unknown.
new.
So it's exciting. Plots, Ploys, and Other Cons is the name of the book, by the way. If you wanna look
You
it up.
can't purchase me.
No, I don't want to purchase you. I want to hire you. Okay.
Okay, so it's in place.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.